This is Capsule on liveandlimbo.com. My name is Sean Chin.
And I am Andreas. This is an adventure into music, film, and pop culture.
Happy birthday, man. How are you?
Well, I'm a day away from being 25, but thank you. I guess an early birthday. Well, by the time this is up, I'll be a quarter of a century old. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty well for my last day at 24.
Oh my God, how does that feel? Kind of scary?
I don't know. How did it feel when you hit that?
25 is like a significant age, I think. Yeah, as you said, that's a quarter of a century.
That's pretty old. But at the same time,
and since we don't live up to 100, that's like not that great.
Well, who's saying I'm not going to?
Yeah.
Well, my past lifestyle, I guess I won't. No, but I mean, if you think about it, yes, 25 is old, but we have to relive all of this amount of time to get to 50, which
pretty cool.
Seems short, but at the same time, it seems really long. Yeah, it's a mixture of the two.
And hopefully we meet the singularity by then.
Well, no, I'm hoping within like 2 years. I want it like now.
Oh, you want it now? Yeah, that'd be great.
I want to be a real sim. No, I'm kidding.
Speaking of birthdays, happy belated Independence Day and 4th of July and even Canada Day to all of our friends all over the world, North America style. We love you all. Keep it real.
Yep, absolutely. Happy various country days to wherever.
And for presents, I sent you a little something.
Yes, my new microphone. Thank you again for that.
It's a very good one. I spend a lot of time researching this one. This one's not my fancy dancy Electro Voice RE20 Tom York one, but this one is an Audio Technica ATR, is it 2020? 2010? Something like that. What does it say?
I believe so. I don't have the box with me right now. It doesn't say on the microphone itself.
Oh, that's fine. But as you can hear right now, it sounds sexy. 2100? Oh, yeah, You're right. So that's interesting because it's unique because it has a XLR as well as a USB port on the bottom of it. So you can do it both ways. And you're doing it via USB. So that's great. Right into your Mac.
Yep, absolutely. So if I wanted to do some really bad karaoke, I could plug it into an amp and just annoy the world. It's great. So thank you again.
You like annoying people?
I don't like karaoke, but I like annoying people. Yes, I'm the kind of person who will go on to like an online game and I won't ever become good at it. I'll just try and annoy people on my team with especially the microphone. So
you're a troll.
I don't like that word. I guess it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, oh, we don't like that term. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Do you ever backstab your team?
In the games that I can, yes.
I used to play Warcraft online, and I used to backstab my team. It was fun once in a while.
What, Warcraft 3 or?
Yeah, Warcraft 3.
Oh God, I used to do that all the time. I'd go in and be like, well, forgive me for how I spoke, but I'm not a noob. No, I'm a pro at this game, and then I'll just mess up my team, and then I just remember the comments because it wasn't microphone based; it was all typed.
Yeah.
Good old days. This guy's not a noob. He screwed up our entire team. F you, and like they get so mad.
I'd build up an army first, and then teleport to my team's base, and then blow it up, and then leave.
Yep. Oh, I wish I thought of that. No, I would just like send my hero because they had the heroes, right? I'd send my hero off to go like attack some things that didn't even matter, like animals.
What race were you? I was undead.
Oh, I would shift all the time. I used to just like to play a random, but I guess the teams that I was kind of best at were orc. And I remember wanting to be good at undead, but I was terrible. And I ended up being good at
tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up being better at night elves, which is weird because I didn't like them at first, but then I ended up being like really good at them. So
the orcs are best for backstabbing because you just build the fast towers around your ally's base, and you tell him you're protecting him, and you start shooting at his buildings after.
I barely remember any of this.
That's hilarious.
It's good that you do.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. Okay. So this weekend is really special for you because it's your birthday, number one, and also because you and Sarah Ricks, our music editor, are covering the Toronto Urban Roots Festival.
Which is weird because people call it Turf Festival, but does that mean that it's Toronto Urban Roots Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, I'm covering turf for the
That's the
first
same
time.
thing that happened to the E3 Expo, the video game one.
What?
E3 because it stands for Electronic Entertainment Expo. Expo.
I never knew what that stood for. Okay, well now I do. There you go.
Expo, Festival, Festival.
Expose. Yeah.
So how's it been compared to something like North by Northeast or Field Trip?
I guess it's easier to compare with Field Trip because first of all, they're both at Fort York. Secondly, they're not like sprawled all over the city. Even though when I was looking at the app that Turf has, apparently a lot of Turf bands were playing stuff like Horseshoe and all these little smaller venues, even like a few days before Turf even happened. So I guess there's some extra good stuff that we missed out on.
No,
But
there's like the club shows. That's what they call them. That's what
yeah.
Neil is actually covering at nighttime.
Oh, okay. So he's got that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I had no idea.
What about like the type of people or like the atmosphere? It's definitely hotter now.
Oh yeah, it's really hot. Yeah, you could compare it to Field Trip, which I started doing in my review, which is almost done, and I'll be sending you it soon after this. Um, I find that there's an easy comparison, but also a lot of contrast because um, again, they're both outdoor. You'll see a lot of similar little stands, like the food trucks and the lemonade stand. Indy 88's over there. Um, I'm warming up to Indy 88. You know, despite what I've said to them in the past. You know, radio stations are kind of stuck in their ways because they could only get us a limited amount of music. But for what it's worth, they're really nice over there, and they're really nice in person as well. So,
Oh yeah,
uh,
no, the people are great.
yeah, so yeah, I'm warming up to them. It's nice to see them at pretty much everything that I go to. But there's a lot of contrast as well because Field Trip, what I said in my review, Field Trip felt very organized, like the titular Field Trip, I guess, where everything was planned, everything was staged like an exhibition. Where okay, you can find this over here. The bands were over here and easy to find locations. Everything was like an actual field trip. Turf is a bit different because it's organized to an extent, but it's not nearly as organized or like well pieced together as Field Trip is. But I like that because it feels kind of like a jamboree, as I've said pretty much word for word
Yeah,
now.
you said that. It's like a hillbilly thing. Not even that. It's like more what? I don't know. Field Trip was
It's
for like the hipster people, like the cool hipster people. This one's for like more laid back stuff.
again like the word troll. I don't know if people really want to identify with that word. I have no idea, but I guess if what else can you call them, right? Yeah, a little bit. And with here's the thing about turf, which I've never seen before. If you have a VIP pass, which all media gets as well, by the way, you're allowed to watch any set from the photo pit, the entire set.
This
But
is good and really terrible too at the same time.
yeah, it's pretty chaotic.
I have no idea why they would do that.
And even okay, they won't let anyone in for the first three songs because it's strictly photographers. But even with that in mind, there must have been like 40 photographers in the pit at once.
Yeah, I saw some pictures that you sent me from your phone. That's like a safety hazard right there.
Yeah, not to mention the portable line was the portable line might have been longer than the audience for a lot of sets, which is pretty bad.
But
Hello?
Your VIP pass gets you like access to the special porta potties.
Yes, it does. Sorry if I said hello. It's because we cut out earlier and I was making sure we didn't. Yeah, we have special porta potties where they're still porta potties, I guess, and they're not pretty on the inside, but
Oh, you
there's a
don't get like
line.
gold toilet paper?
No, just silver.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
It's not up to my standards, but what can you do?
And how was the food there at Turf?
I'm trying to avoid buying food at a lot of these places because it is expensive,
I know,
but
but did you
I,
see anything really nice?
I got suckered in. I bought supreme meat poutine.
Oh, what is that?
It's just a regular poutine, but it has like smoked meat on it. It was pretty damn good.
Wait, like
So
pulled pork or like what? Like
I think it was pulled pork. It was actually kind of hard to tell because it was drizzled in gravy.
it was good though, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
And how much did they sell that for?
That was $8.
Okay. Wow, that is pretty expensive. Did they give you like a big amount? Kind
A
of.
reasonable amount.
Did it come with a drink?
No,
Oh,
it,
okay.
no, it didn't. But it's got the same thing that Field Trip has. They have the free water stands.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Very
we
good.
need that. And not to mention that Molson and Smirnoff were had the stand where they basically were giving out free samples of um, iced beer, whatever the hell it's called. I don't remember what it's called, where you mix vodka with beer.
So you just kept walking around and kept getting free samples?
No, that you could only get it once because they stamp your hand, but
Oh,
they
you
give
just
you a
rub it off.
pretty. I was thinking of that actually. They give you a pretty reasonable amount where because it's a mixture, it's a good buzz anyways, and it's all like a small little cup. They give you um
Oh man, you can bring like a little bottle of that hand sanitizer, like or like 70% rubbing alcohol, and just keep that in your back pocket or your bag, and then you just rub that stamp off and just go back around and
yeah, and
turn
then
your hat sideways or something.
they're gonna recognize me. Put
Yeah,
my
yeah,
nose piercing on the other side, I
yeah.
guess. um, no, but they give you a pretty reasonable amount considering it's free, and yeah, no, it did its job. It actually is pretty tasty. It seems really weird, but no, it was good.
I'm glad that you liked it so far. So that was day one, and today you'll be. So whenever you're listening to this podcast, Turf will probably be over.
Yeah,
So he just finished day one. He's going on to day two and three. And
yeah.
so, speaking more about music, did you hear that Google bought Songza?
I did hear about that. I didn't look into it
Well, they
too
yeah
deeply, but yeah,
they bought the. I guess it's like a online streaming service that caters to what genre or like what mood you're in. So like if you're working, I've used it like a few times in the past, not too much anymore. But let's say you're at the gym, you can just tap gym and then it will start playing like gym music.
that's pretty cool. I guess it's kind of like Pandora
Kind
or
of, yeah.
Spotify or whatever, right?
So Google bought them for 39 million US dollars. And this comes in the wake like really close to when Apple bought Beats for 3.2 billion. So you can
Yeah, a
see
little
who's
bit.
trying to catch up with who. I don't know.
Yeah, it's what I said in a number of podcasts before, which I hope you all remember, which means you've kept up with us. Remember when I said that there's competition and then there's just like being leveled? This is Google trying to be leveled because
I don't
Apple
think it's
was
enough though.
well, because that was just with the streaming service, right? That Google hasn't caught up with hardware, but I don't think they will because that's not what they try to identify with, except with phones, I guess, right?
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. So yeah, we'll see where this takes you. But
We'll
the
see.
future is definitely in streaming music, as we can see all the big players gearing up for that war.
Which is unfortunate because you have people like me still wanting to buy records. So
Records are still cool. Like Saint Vincent, you showed me that album and like the cover, like you just want that cover. Like you no digital download or yeah, anything like that. Or even like a CD can match like having the vinyl cover and it's like, like dented out like with the letters and everything.
yeah, I've got Saint Vincent self-titled on both vinyl and CD. So I play it in my car as well.
Nice.
It's pretty
Sweet.
nice. Well, I guess with the vinyl, it comes with a free MP3 download, which I've got that too, which I don't know if I need it, but
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Have
No,
you heard of Black Joe Lewis? Did you see him yesterday at Turf?
I've heard of him. I didn't get a chance to see him because I was. This is going to be bad. I was covering Beirut. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Well,
Oof.
they were the main act, so hopefully you caught them. So
I did. I was again with the VIP pass, literally like right up against the stage for their set.
that's awesome.
Yep.
And so like, well, I mentioned Black Joe Lewis because Neil covered their Turf Club show at the Horseshoe. So, and like the photos he took are amazing. I'll put that in the show notes. But like he sounds like Hendrix and like the Dead Weather with Jet
A little
Li.
bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. When Beirut was done, I was actually leaving and I heard a little bit of Black Joe Lewis while I was leaving.
I'm really impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of Gary Clark Jr. sounded very Hendrix like,
I love
which
that.
was
I love that sound.
oh, it was great.
What
To
is
see him
that
live.
sound called? Is that like
The Hendrix sound. I don't know.
like it's like blues, like electric blues or something like that.
It's very blues heavy, which most rock and metal at the very beginning was like Led Zeppelin was extremely blues heavy. Jimi Hendrix as well. A lot of rock came from blues and a lot of like the southern kind of sounds like gospel. You could thank Elvis Presley for that.
Is that like the Delta blues or is that like different blues?
Uh, I guess it depends on the person.
Oh, okay.
There's um just different regions of it, right? So it depends on the person entirely.
Yeah. Okay. Did you discover any new music or bands yesterday?
I discovered bands that I knew, but I didn't know by name. Local natives. So I was like, oh, I know this music. I just didn't know it was local
Oh,
natives, I guess. Beirut is the same thing, actually. I was like, these guys are headlining. I've never heard of them. And then I heard the music. I was like, oh, right, yeah, yes, I have. Don't be stupid, Andy. Yes, you have. Um, Apart from that, I stumbled upon the Waco Brothers, which is a super group containing members from Meekins and Jesus Jones and other bands. And Meekins is a band that I really, really enjoy. And yeah, they're I just what I put in the review actually while I'm still on the verge of writing it is that they're kind of a hidden treasure. And their album Fear and Whiskey, which it's gotten a lot of critical praise from Robert Christgau, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Pitchfork and other publications, but it like not a lot of people know it. It's a highly underrated album, so I didn't even know they were performing, and there you go. I stumbled upon them, and I said, "Oh wow, okay, they were good."
that's awesome to know. And
Yeah,
speaking of this kind of blues and rock stuff, Jack White, he's been in the news a lot lately.
he has. He's being a bit of a dick.
Well, maybe like to some people, but did you hear what happened recently? His whole like that medical drama theater thing that happened.
Oh, okay, no, I haven't.
Okay, so I just found this today too. It's on The Guardian and Rolling Stone. I'll put that link in the show notes. Essentially, he started a gig in London, and then halfway through, he had like a convulsion, and then they took him out, and he had to go to like this. And this is really weird. So they took him out. Everyone was like, "What the hell is happening?" And like a few minutes or half an hour later, everyone in the venue or that was at the show got a text message saying to meet at this place, and it's like called Vescovo and Co Medical Center. And then everyone's like, "What the hell?" And then they go there, and the people that do end up going there have to like change into like medical scrubs and stuff,
Mhm.
and then he performed there. It's like a viral marketing thing, and it was in conjunction with what's it called? Punch Drunk, which is like a theatrical company in London.
Wait, so this wasn't real? This was staged?
It was a staged, yeah, stage performance
Well,
concert.
that doesn't sound too surprising, considering this Transformer LP he has now, Lazaretto, with all of its features. Considering the one no concert he did with Meg, um, considering all the world records he's tried to set, I'm not surprised. I thought this was real. I thought it was like that's why they had to wear the scrubs. It's like because yeah, he's going to get infected if they're operating on him. And I thought he actually performed while they were like operating on him. But no, I guess it was just which
So
doesn't really fit with the Lazaretto sound, I guess, because that's really like to the point and like traditional. But okay, whatever.
yeah, and so like 100 people got to be in this decontamination quarantine area where he performed in like
That
dark blue lights, which is really cool, I think.
that's pretty crazy.
And then apparently at the end he had a seizure again and was stretchered off.
And then they're like, "Oh, let's wait for that text," and then they got nothing.
No.
It's like, "Oh, damn it! I thought we'd see him at like a morgue or something."
in the coffin or something.
Oh, that would have been cool. That would have been more Lazaretto, actually.
Yeah, and he rises from the dead.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's move on to film.
Uh-oh.
There's one that you told me to watch, and I was actually very intrigued because I'm into the whole, I guess, natural sci-fi, like organic sci-fi kind of films, like Her with Joaquin Phoenix. That one I
Hmm.
loved, and Scarlett Johansson. And Scarlett Johansson was in this one that you recommended called Under the Skin, released in 2000 when 2014 this year.
Yeah, well, it was in festivals the year earlier, but its official release was this year, and
Who
it's
directed this one?
uh yikes, the name's escaping me right now. Hang on, let me look it up.
Oh, that's fine. So the
He did a
essentially
damn good
this is
job though.
yeah. Well, yeah. Like visually, it looked okay, but I found the pace to be very, very slow. I was not expecting this. So maybe
Jonathan Glazer is the director.
did he direct anything else notable before?
Oh yeah, he did a lot of music videos actually. For Radiohead,
Really?
Jamiroquai.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh, I
he
can actually see that. Yeah.
he did the film Sexy Beast as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that Radiohead music
He did Karma
video.
Police actually.
Yeah. Oh, he did that?
Yeah, he did. Oh, suddenly you want to watch Under the Skin again, right?
Nah. Well, I think if he just did it in like a 4 minute music video, that would be better. Because he
Uh,
drew this one out. Okay,
but
so maybe,
you
maybe,
like 2001, don't you?
yeah. Well, okay, yeah. 2001 was. Would you compare Under the Skin to that? Like
Pacing
pace
wise,
wise?
absolutely. Oh
Hmm.
yeah. And if anything, 2001's so much more abstract.
Yeah, I think yeah. Well, because it was that abstract, it worked. This one was just one story. Okay, so maybe you want to dive into the synopsis of this one.
A little bit. It's tough to kind of go into without spoiling anything, so we'll just give spoiler tags from now anyways. You could jump ahead maybe 5, 10 minutes. Anyways, okay, so with this one, Scarlett Johansson's an alien. Jeez. But they don't really tell us at the beginning. At the very beginning, you see
You just ruined it right there.
well no, I said spoiler tags, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
uh you see like her kind of being put together, but you don't really know it. So, like you see like an eye kind of being made. You see her trying to like, or you hear her trying to pronounce things. You don't really gather that she's trying to learn how to speak. All of this stuff is kind of like cryptic at first until like the very end of the movie, which I've seen it a few times now, and it gets better with every watch for me. But you don't really know that she's an alien, but you get it a kind of a sense. But this is why it's hard to talk about without spoiling, because if you look at synopses on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, you'll see Scarlett Johansson's an alien, which you're not really supposed to really know until the end, right?
Yeah.
But it's really difficult to explain this movie without giving anything away. But you still have to promote it. So what else can you do? She's taken on this human body, like this kind of sexy femme fatale look, which works because she tries to lure people in, I guess through sexuality, and she ends up stealing their skin so she can harvest it for other aliens who might want to put on the skin. But you never really see like aliens apart from her, and kind of you presume it's like her boss. It's this guy who runs around on a motorcycle and kind of observes everything that she does.
No, okay. Actually, stop right there. We're
Yeah.
gonna spoil this. Okay, I don't really care.
Well,
If
I
you're
put
listening to
spoiler
this, we're gonna
tags.
spoil. So who is that guy? I don't get what that guy was for.
He was a guardian.
But what
You
was on
remember
his
that?
back? He had like a hunchback.
I think he was just somebody who
What's he guarding her from?
was slouching. He wasn't guarding her from anything. He was making sure she was doing her job. Remember when she let that guy
The
with the skin
disfigured face.
condition? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She let him go. Instantly, when that happened, you saw him shoving that guy into the trunk, right?
Why couldn't he do that stuff himself?
Because think of it this way: if you're working for Apple because you like Apple, you're working for Apple. You're a spokesperson at first, and then you become like a somebody who works at the company officially, and then you become like a higher up. They're the higher ups. They've worked for that position, presumably. Like this is all kind of implied. They never say that guy never actually speaks at all. So he never says, "Oh, what is she doing?" And then they leave. You kind of just see him chasing after her after whatever things she's done. Like when she let that guy go. Do you remember that scene where you saw like three people on a motorbike and they all gunned it in different directions?
Yeah.
That's because they were on the look for her
Mm.
because she let somebody go and she wasn't supposed to. Because now that person knows their secrets.
So when she tempts men in, she always asks them like stuff at the beginning, like while she's in the car. Why does she do that? Like she always wants to know where you're going. Do you have a girlfriend and that stuff?
Well, this is interesting because a lot of those scenes were actually improvised. Scarlett Johansson had her wig on and she had the accent on. So I guess people might have thought at first, oh, yikes, that's Scarlett Johansson. But then maybe they were a bit confused. Those are random people on the street that she actually drove up to.
Oh, those are real random people?
Yeah, that's why the camera looks a little bit more like fixated within like the dashboard, or like a little like more still than
Oh,
other
I thought
shots.
those were actors.
No, what they did was they drove up to random people, and the people who kind of just like shrugged her off, they used at the beginning as her not getting what she wanted and having to try harder. And then the people where she said, "Oh, do you want a lift?" and they came in, that's when they said, "Okay, you're actually a part of a movie. We're gonna give you something to sign. Do you want to be like?" Well, they got them to sign everything.
And they actually said they're going to be naked too.
Yeah. Well, all the people, even the people who shrugged her off, had to sign something eventually, but they didn't know at first. But then, like the people who were okay with the nudity, they said, "Yeah, of course." And yeah, I guess they stayed on for longer, and they ended up.
Wow, I had no idea. Good
People
thing.
lured in.
Good thing you mentioned that. That's
It's
pretty cool,
something-
actually.
Yeah, something really interesting. There was this meme that went all over the internet last year when you saw Scarlett Johansson falling in Europe. I don't know if you remember that. That was actually in the movie, but because there weren't like obvious cameras around or anything of the like an obvious set, people thought it was just Scarlett Johansson walking around enjoying the view and actually falling over. They didn't know it was a part of the movie. So
Wow.
people were trying to like embarrass her, saying, "Oh, look at this fall." You know, even people who are like idols to people aren't perfect, but really it was a fake fall. It was for the movie.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what's interesting about Under the Skin, because a lot of it is a documentary on how people would react to that situation, which is interesting because, oh, she's a pretty lady, let's help her out, and yeah, let's go into the car with her, let's just trust her instantly. But then really, like within the context of the film, she's an alien who's going to kill you to get your skin. So it's really nice like that.
Okay, so what was that black goo?
Um, I don't know specifically what it was, like if it had a name, if it was a chemical, but what I do know is that it kind of freezes you in place for a certain period of time until it sucks all of your organs out. I don't know if you can tell by that bloodbath, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I saw that the blood part and like all the organs going in and all that stuff. But like when one of the guys just went in, and then you can see him see another dude, and then that dude looks like he's saying something, and then he just pops or like implodes.
Yeah.
How was he able to say something?
Well, he wasn't saying anything. It was kind of like he was trying to anyways, right?
Mm,
You didn't really hear anything, right?
that's weird.
And you would have, because it wasn't like a silent part. You could hear the guy who just went in, you could hear his bones cracking, his head moving around. So you could hear stuff that was happening, but he didn't have the power to speak, but he tried to warn him, I guess.
Wow.
Is this making you reconsider this movie a little bit?
No. But
Oh.
no, I'm just thinking about it. So was the guy that was disfigured, was that real or was that like fake?
I swore for the entire movie it was fake. I was like, wow, that's pretty good special effects, but you know, you could kind of tell. And then I did research on, oh my God, no, it was real. They actually hired somebody who had that skin condition.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so also I read something on like IMDb in the forums that all the other men acted very robotic, and the disfigured person was the only person who acted like a real person would, like confused and like, whoa, what's going on here? And when he was walking towards the goo, all the other guys were like, oh, they were like stuck on her and following her in.
Yeah. And he was kind of like hesitant. It's interesting because, like I said, all these people just trusted her heavily. He was different because, well, she asked, why do you only shop for groceries at night? Like, she couldn't understand why this person was isolated at all, because to her, like, this skin condition meant nothing. And he just felt like he could finally abide in somebody. And then when she was luring him in, he was saying, oh God, there's an ulterior motive, but what do I do? This is the first person to actually acknowledge me. Like, you could see the confliction there.
Yeah.
No, it was really good.
I like that. Well, that part, I guess, emotional wise.
I'm surprised you didn't like the visuals though, because I thought they were spectacular.
No, I said the visuals were good. I like the visuals.
I thought you said they were just like okay.
I didn't like the pace of the movie. I
Okay.
don't like how she just ends up in random places. Like, how did she get to the cafe? How did she get to the forest?
Because
How
she
did
was
she get to the
fleeing.
beach? She what?
Well, considering the fact that she's driving around for the beach anyways, she was
How does
driving
she know how
around
to
anyways.
drive?
Well, I guess with lessons, like she taught herself how to speak, seeing that the guardian knows how to drive a motorbike, right? She picked up on like again, it doesn't really go into this, but it's implied. She gets into everything that she can do by seeing what other people do. Like she doesn't have makeup at first, she sees how people put them on. And even at the end of the movie, she's like kind of like pressing the lipstick against her face because she doesn't know fully how to put it on
And she
normally.
tries chocolate cake and hates it.
Well, she doesn't eat at all. That's the
Oh,
thing. So
aliens
it's
don't eat at all.
no, they don't eat. That's why when they were having sex, because they don't do what humans do. When they were having sex, she thought her skin got ripped, and that's why she went to go look, I guess, at her lower region and see if she actually had a hole there, because she doesn't really know fully how the human body works. So when she was seeing people eat, uh, this is something you might not have noticed, and it might make you want to watch it again. She doesn't blink she doesn't blink at all when she's out talking to people and trying to lure them in. Like she doesn't have that the need to. She just does it to throw people off because she noticed that other people do that. So when somebody will be walking past her car, and she'll be asking for directions, she'll look normal, and as soon as they leave, she'll be have like this stone look on her face, and
Yeah.
she won't blink once. Like when they have that radio report of the people dying on the beach, she doesn't blink once. It's crazy. But no, aliens don't have to eat, so she tried to eat just to see what it was like to be human. Um, Ever since she met that guy who was disfigured, not only was she trying to get away because she knew she screwed up, but she also tried to like really look at humanity, which is why she went to the forest, which is why she trusted that guy on the bus, which is why she tried to eat cake, and she couldn't at all. She had no idea how to, so she just coughed it back up.
She had money. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. And okay, why did they leave that kid on the beach?
What, the baby?
Yeah.
Well, I guess because what alien could take on that body, right?
Which planet were they from?
Well, who knows? That's the thing about this movie, which is nice because a lot of it is ambiguous. I kind of like the fact that we don't know. Like if they said something like Mars or like some actual planet that we know from a distant galaxy, I think that would have made it a little bit um, sillier, because the movie is really poetic and a lot of it speaks um, on human nature. So I like the fact that it was like this unnamed planet, these unnamed beings. You don't really even know what they look like until the very end.
Or what their motive is?
Well, their motive is to get skin, so a lot of them could be on Earth and be hidden,
But why?
so they can inhabit Earth.
Oh, they want to inhabit Earth?
Yeah,
Oh, and like take it over?
I don't know about take it over. That's the thing that's also ambiguous as well. Do they want to take it over? Do they just want to be accepted and just live normally? I don't know. But with their aggression, it could be a takeover, because the Guardian responds very
Yeah,
hostile
that's
to
right.
all the situations. So it could be a takeover,
Tricky, tricky. And then she gets burnt at the end,
which is a lot like Karma Police. Yeah, there's a fire in Karma Police, right?
and she turns into ash.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
She gets burnt alive by the person who was trying to rape her, which is kind of weird. But
who was the forest ranger?
yeah, that was really unsettling. But that was interesting at the same time, because there's just a lot of things that you can get textually from this film. If you think about it, why was he doing that? Because
Yeah, why was he doing that?
he, well, first of all, he's a pervert. That's surface level. But secondly, she's just an image, and she's obviously, like Scarlett Johansson seen as a sex symbol. She's just the image that a lot of people see as like hot and wow, Scarlett Johansson is so sexy kind of thing.
And she's in the forest here by herself.
Well, that's not the point. The message is the fact that like a lot of people judge solely by image alone, and like once she found out that she was just alien, first instinct was a killer.
Yeah,
But
that's weird.
this was he was so drawn to her before, right? Like, oh yeah, you could go here, you could go there. Oh, she's by herself. Let's take advantage of this situation, which is disgusting, obviously. But the message here, I guess, is that like there's more to a person than just like what's on the outside, which is like a lot.
What's under the skin.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's why it's called that.
Yeah, that was weird, eh? Going from really wanting her to just burning her. in like
Well,
5 seconds.
it makes sense to his character. Well, would you want to kill an alien? That'd freak the hell out of me. Well, I
Yeah,
don't know
but
if I'd
what,
want to
like,
kill it, but
don't
it'd
they have
scare
like a
me.
gun? Don't Rangers have like a gun? But he like came behind her and poured like oil on her and then set her on fire.
Well, this is Scotland. I don't know what the Rangers are like up there, right?
Yeah. So you actually reviewed this film and you gave it a 9 out of 10.
And while I did give Boyhood a higher rating because I do think within the mechanics of how a film works, it is a better film. Having reviewed or having viewed Under the Skin a few more times, actually, it might actually be through a personal preference. It might be my favorite film of the year so far.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Did not see that coming.
I think it's fantastic. So far, the best films of the year are Under the Skin, Boyhood, and The Grand Budapest Hotel. Which, if you haven't seen any of these, Boyhood's coming out in theaters soon. But if you haven't seen the other two, I highly suggest it.
Yes, I need to see Boyhood.
Yes, that's coming out next week, I believe.
Man, you got to see that really early.
Yep, I got it a month early, the Canadian premiere.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic movie. I'm dying to see it again.
Okay. And so, anything else you want to talk about on your birthday?
Speaking of death, yeah, lovely birthday present. Death Grips have broken up.
Oh my God, yeah. Death Grips are like the second headliner for the Time Festival in Toronto by Embrace. And I think on Thursday, they posted a handwritten note saying that they're the best right now at this point in their career, and it's the best time to end it.
Well, not that they're the best, but they're at the best that they will ever be.
How do they know that?
Personal opinion, I guess.
Okay. So then they said they're canceling all their future shows, but
Yeah.
they'll still be releasing their album.
Yeah, they've got the part 2 of
So how do they know that part 2 is not their best?
well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that their part 2 is the best, and that's what they're leaving on.
So all the reviewers like you should give that album like a 3 to make them come back and make the best album.
No, I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, it
that's
works like that.
no. Death Grips are different because they've canceled a lot of tours before. This isn't alien to them, pun intended. This isn't alien to them at all. They've done this before. They've signed with Epic, and then they've completely ruined their reputation by posting drummer Zach Hill's erect penis on one of their album covers. They've said we're not commercial at all. This is what we do. But then they did a thing with MTV where they had like a what's it called? Like a virtual reality kind of music video. We could look at anything from the music video. This part's hilarious. One of the e-zines they promised, Death Grips promised that e-zine a spot in the video because you could alternate between cameras and see different parts of the music video from different perspectives. So they said, this e-zine, you get your own little camera that nobody else can use with this password. And it was like this buoy within the pool, so it was just like stuck in one place, so they got ripped off.
Oh.
That's what Death Grips does, though. A lot of their stuff is just to get on people's nerves, which is why a lot of people, when I reacted to this, saying this is bullshit, a lot of people are saying this could just be an act, but I kind of hope it isn't at the same time, because if they just disappear within 4 or 5 years of being a band, it would make sense, but at the same time, it's just annoying because they're really prolific. They have a lot of time ahead of them, right? They've released what's going to be 6 albums. Well, I guess 5 if you consider the 2 1. 6 albums within like 4 years. That's pretty crazy.
But I just know that like in your heart you really wanted to see them and complete this trifecta you almost had with Swan, St. Vincent, and Death Grips. Like you wanted to complete that trifecta there.
Of course I was dying.
And you were so close. You were approved for it. And they just took it away from you.
Yeah,
less than a month away, like within this month.
Like 2 weeks even. Yeah. I was dying to see Death Grips.
Couldn't they like not wait like a month?
No, obviously not, I guess. They probably did it for this specific reason because they had Time Festival. They had the opening spot for Nine Inch Nails and Soundgarden. They had all of these shows. And this is like the perfect moment to screw everyone up, to give them enough notice, but to also just screw them up.
I think Trent Reznor actually pissed on them for this.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, why did I think those guys would be stable? Right? What can you do? If you haven't heard of Death Grips, they're experimental hip hop. They've got like really abrasive sound and lyricism. but I think they're excellent. Their album, The Money Store, has gotten really high reviews from a lot of publications. So yeah, it's definitely worth
Like our
checking out.
friend Anthony Fantano.
Yeah, he gave them a perfect rating, and he actually released a joke video where he was like, "How dare you, this and that? I'm taking back your perfect rating." But then he released a serious one where he's like, "You know what? I don't really care. This makes a lot of sense for them. This doesn't phase me at all." So
I guess even like in boxing and the sports world, like ideally, if you're an athlete, you would want to retire when you're at the top of your game rather than just fade out.
yeah, but that's the thing. At boxing, you have a record to uphold, right?
Yeah.
You don't like go to like you don't cancel your appearances or like you don't cancel, you don't even show up. That Scripps actually did that where they didn't cancel and they just had like this massive suicide note that they received in an email, like put up on like this massive sheet, and they just had that there instead. They didn't even cancel. They just had that. They didn't show up.
Wait, say that again. A
What they
suicide
did
sheet?
was, yeah, what might as well be. What they had was like this massive sheet with like a suicide note that it was probably staged. But it was sent to their Gmail, and it had like a screenshot of their computer, so you could see like their Gmail name and everything. And they just had like a toy drum set and other little instruments, I guess, on their stage. And what happened was they just had that there, and people were like, "Oh, that's amusing." And then they realized, "Shit, Death Grips isn't coming." So what happened was they just ended up everyone just ruined the set. Like they ripped the sheet, they broke all of the instruments, and like it said in the note that Death Grips is like an art exhibition pretty much, and I guess that worked in a kind of a Yoko Ono way, but still it sucks heavily. But if it wasn't to annoy people, how else would it have worked? I guess, right?
I don't know. I don't like that attitude.
Yeah, it's the thing is, if you're a fan, it's highly annoying. But if you're within like 10 years time, I'll look back at this and say, you know what, this was really damn creative. But at the time being, I'm still really sour about it.
You can't just cancel. Like, people were looking forward to this.
I was looking forward to this. Yeah, I was
They were the
really,
second headliner. Suppose they were the headliner.
yeah. I signed up for Time Festival because yeah, you have artists like Charlie XCX and
Who's also not on it, I think. That's what I heard.
oh come on.
I don't think they
Anyway.
made that official. Oh, I don't think I should have said that.
I no, it's okay.
So we only have Grimes, plus they increased the price from 35 to 45. So I don't know if that
For what,
means.
though?
I don't know. Does that mean they found someone else?
I don't know, but basically,
Who would you
only-
like to? Who'd you like to see added to that? So Grimes would still headline, I think.
yeah, so there's like one artist that I'm looking forward to now, except for like St. Lucia, who's a friend of ours, I guess.
Magical Clouds, you should check them out.
I will, but like I was heavily set on Grimes and Death Grips. What can you do? A replacement though, you mentioned Crystal Castles,
That would be great.
not as like an official replacement, might I add, but as a one that we could just speculate about, that would be excellent. I've seen them live; they're fantastic.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah, I saw them live too. They would be great there.
Where did you see them? At,
It was at the
Sound
Cool
Academy?
House. No, Cool House.
Oh, okay. You didn't get a chance to see her with her broken leg, right?
No.
Oh, that was crazy.
She had a working leg.
No, she had a broken leg with a crutch, and she was still like jumping to the
So that
audience.
was 2012 then.
That show?
Yeah, the one with the broken leg.
I think it was it was either 2011 or 2012.
Yeah,
I think it was 2011 because 3 came out 2012, right?
that's
The album?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, it was 2011 then.
I photographed them. 2012. So it was you were probably 2011 then.
Yeah, you saw her with her really light purple hair, right?
It was teal.
Oh, it was teal. Okay.
Did she have purple then teal? Yeah.
She must have. It wasn't. It was like a violet almost. It was a really obscure kind of like light purple.
I was looking forward to photographing that, and then at the Cool House, I'm not sure when she changed it, but then at Reading Festival 2012, it was purple. I saw the videos.
Yeah.
And then when she came back to Canada, I guess it went to teal. I don't know why she changed it.
Well, she changed it St. Vincent style. She was like, "Oh, these Canadians, we have to put on something for them," and then
That's actually one of my favorite photos that I ever took. Did you ever see that one?
St. Vincent or Crystal Castles?
Crystal Castles.
No, I didn't.
No, just go on Live in Limbo and search for Crystal Castles.
What do you mean? I'm already on live in Limbo.
Oh, okay. That's one of my favorite photos.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Yeah, if they come back, I really want to see them again, Crystal Castles. And yeah, if you're listening, hopefully we haven't spoiled Under the Skin for you if you skipped far enough ahead. Yeah, check out Crystal Castles. They're one of the best live bands I've been to.
And yeah, they're our intro music as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that entirely. Actually,
And we still need to work on getting them on the show, which they've never replied to, which is weird.
yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, you guys can use our music for the intro, but we'll get back to you on the interview.
You know, also didn't reply to us. Death Grips.
Yeah, well, you can see why now.
Yeah,
That would have been cool to have like their last interview
that would have been cool.
or one
Who knows?
of their last interviews.
Maybe they'll still do that where it's like we've broken up. Hey, let's get one of these small e-zines, give our last interview, blow up their site basically, and then just disappear forever.
I kind of want to see all the reviewers give part 2 a negative review and see what they do.
Nah, I don't. Well,
If they want to annoy people, they should annoy them back.
well, part 1's already gotten probably their lowest rating so far.
So why do they think they're the best?
Well, part 2's probably a lot better, I guess. Well, to them, anyways.
Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see.
All right. Any last words from the birthday boy?
Stay noited, I guess.
Okay.
It's a Death Grips joke. Never mind.
Where can all of our listeners find you online?
They can find me on Twitter at Andreas Babs.
You can follow myself at Sean Chin. You can follow this show at Live in Limbo and use the hashtag Capsule Podcast to join in on the conversation. Please subscribe to this show on iTunes. And of course, you can find the show notes at liveinlimbo.com/capsule. Take care.
Have a good one.